Action, intrigue, monsters, unparalleled thrills. These were the hallmarks of Jonny Quest, the revolutionary series that exploded amid a veritable wasteland of animated programming. Where frivolity and corner-cutting had been established as the norm, the adventures of the Quest team brought unprecedented excitement and quality to the TV diets of youngsters across America. It was a bold step to take, but as fans across the decades have found, very worthwhile. In a previous video, I highlighted some of this show's notable monster-centered episodes. Now, I'd like to take a quick dive into the origins of Jonny Quest, truly one of the greatest animated series ever made. I'm Tyler Martin, and this is Monsters from the Id. Animators William Hanna and Joseph Barbera were just coming off many years of phenomenal success with MGM, having earned multiple Academy Awards with their landmark creation, Tom and Jerry. But times were changing, and the more recent medium of television was now the preferred outlet for cartoons. With MGM having shuttered its animation department for good in 1957, Hanna and Barbera, bringing along many of their former collaborators, established their own company and quickly placed themselves at the forefront of the TV animation boom with budget-minded comedic fare like Quick Draw McGraw and Huckleberry Hound. The pioneering pair made television history with the first primetime animated sitcom, The Flintstones, in 1960. A massive hit, it was followed in its success by The Jetsons in 1962. Having pushed the nuclear family-centered comedy into the distant past and subsequently the distant future, it was time to try something a little different. To this end, Joseph Barbera found inspiration in Terry and the Pirates, Milton Caniff's classic comic strip about the exotic exploits of a sharp-witted American boy and a colorful cast of allies facing off against an equally colorful cast of villains. Wishing to create something along these lines, the company entered into negotiations to adapt the similarly themed radio series Jack Armstrong. As this premise called for a radical stylistic departure from their usual fare, Hanna-Barbera enlisted the talents of cartoonist Doug Wildey to design the series. The reasons vary depending on the source, but eventually the idea of a Jack Armstrong adaptation was abandoned in favor of an original show in the same vein, with the result being Wildey's crowning achievement, Jonny Quest. Drawing influence from various quarters, including the aforementioned Terry and the Pirates, and his own extensive portfolio of comic strip work, Wildey conceived a thrilling, globe-trotting adventure filled with futuristic technology, Cold War-tinged intrigue, and, naturally, monsters. Wildey crafted a striking aesthetic which, in animated form, became very much like a pulp comic come to life. At the center of the action were Jonny Quest, a quintessential all-American boy who is always up for excitement. Mentally and physically adroit, Jonny displays sharp judgment and is frequently able to fight his way out of a tough spot. Because of the nature of his father's work, he and his adopted brother Haji do not attend school, but are rather tutored by bodyguard Race Bannon in the traditional subjects as well as extracurricular activities like judo. His father, Dr. Benton Quest, a brilliant, upstanding scientist who works for the U.S. government. His genius covers a variety of disciplines including biology, archaeology, mineralogy, and more. He is unfailingly devoted to his research, but always keeps the boy's safety foremost in mind. With his work, involving as it does government secrets and highly valuable scientific developments, comes a great deal of danger from various unscrupulous parties. It is implied that Mrs. Quest met an untimely end as a result of said danger, necessitating round-the-clock protection courtesy of Roger Race Bannon, an intelligence operative and bodyguard who, as mentioned, tutors Jonny and Haji in place of traditional schooling. Where Dr. Quest's expertise spans a wide range of academic disciplines, Race has the physical side of things covered, serving as a crack pilot, submariner, martial artist, marksman, and more. It's hard to imagine a more quintessential man of action than Race Bannon. Haji, a streetwise orphan from Calcutta who saved Dr. Quest from a would-be assassin and was subsequently adopted into the Quest fold. He is highly knowledgeable, resourceful, and usually just as adventurous as Jonny, making them boon companions. After the pattern of Indian fakirs, Haji has a penchant for mystical feats, such as levitation and hypnosis, which often serve to get him and the others out of a bind. And Bandit, Jonny's pet bulldog, conceived as comic relief, but who often contributes to the story and helps save the day. He is unusually intelligent, but always behaves and emotes just like a dog, and as such is no more unbelievable than, say, Lassie. Bandit was added at the insistence of Joseph Barbera. Wildey had pushed for a pet monkey instead. Notably, no fewer than 2 episodes feature simians getting the better of Bandit, a likely indication of Wildey's dissatisfaction with the character. Though, as a dog person, this YouTuber finds no fault whatsoever in this addition to the cast. Apart from the regular leads and the variety of colorful personalities they encounter in their travels, a couple of recurring characters also bear mentioning. Dr. Zinn, an evil scientist of uncertain nationality whose brilliance makes him a worthy arch-rival to Dr. Quest. Always prone to use his genius for nefarious purposes, Zinn's wicked machinations include the manufacture and manipulation of a sophisticated robotic spy which nearly succeeds in absconding with top-secret information, and turning an underling into a duplicate of Race Bannon, a plot seen right through by Jezebel Jade, a fellow agent and old flame of Race's who occasionally turns up to offer her unique and invaluable assistance. While seeming to be a volatile femme fatale strongly motivated by money, Jade ultimately comes through on the side of good, saving the Quest party's necks in the jungles of Thailand and later in Hong Kong. The cast includes an impressive list of voice talent, including Tim Matheson as Johnny, John Stevenson and later Don Messick as Dr. Quest, Mike Road as Race, Danny Bravo as Haji, and a number of others who may be familiar to monster movie buffs.
What was that? An explosion! Quick, Miguel! Stop the engines! We will go see what happened!
I'll make the decisions around here. Oh, but you are wrong, Mr. Williams. On the water, the Capitan makes the decisions. We will do as you say. You listen to me. You wish to say something, mister? Eh?
Is he dead? No, not yet. You'd better get him to the hospital. It would be best if he were to die. If he lives, he will be shot as a traitor.
I could remember the smell of the thing. A cool and evil smell that sent your flesh crawling. It was there. I tell you, that's the spot over there.
This being a product of the 1960s, there is no shortage of ethnic caricatures to be found, which modern viewers may find off-putting. Some might be quick to point out Haji as an obvious example. Intended to provide contrast to Johnny's white-bread all-American persona, the wonders of the Orient represented in Haji do come across as a bit much by today's standards, though in this case it's fairly benign, and he's a genuinely great character. More egregious is the Japanese biologist Dr. Ashida, who, while a very effective and well-conceived villain, looks like something out of a wartime propaganda cartoon. And this is just the beginning. Just ask Whitefeather the Cigar Store Indian, Chef Charlie Chan, or Jose Jalapeno. Then, of course...
All right, you ignorant savages! Get a good look at Akizio, you heathen monkeys!
These are indeed unfortunate symptoms of the times in which the program was created, but no reason to throw out the baby with the bathwater. Johnny Quest's vibrant energy, brilliant storytelling, and powerful significance in animation history greatly outweigh such faults, which are, after all, far from central to the show's essence. On a much more positive note, providing an unforgettable sonic backdrop for all the action was the great Hoyt Curtin. Having established himself as a prolific composer of music for commercials, Curtin was recruited by Hanna-Barbera for their first TV venture, The Rough and Ready Show. From that point on, he became their go-to music man, and Johnny Quest provided a unique opportunity for Curtin to flex his musical muscles in ways that Top Cat and Magilla Gorilla never could. His percussive, jazz-flavored stylings make the perfect complement for the aesthetic crafted by Doug Wildey and the animation team, and his work for this series is arguably the best of his storied career. Dr. Quest's work took the team to various exotic locales and into the thick of mystery and excitement on a weekly basis. This watershed series brought pulp adventure to truly staggering heights and found major success with critics and audiences. But alas, the dynamic visuals needed to bring such pulse-pounding action to life came with a hefty price tag, and it was due to this that Johnny Quest was cancelled in 1965 after a single season. Even so, thanks to a steady stream of reruns, those 26 earth-shattering episodes have continued to enthrall in the years since, and the Quest mythos has been further expanded in follow-up series, comic books, and other media. It is a bit surprising that a live-action feature has yet to be produced, though given the state of cinema these days, that might be for the best. But no matter what lies ahead for Johnny and the rest of the gang, Doug Wildey's signature creation remains one of the finest cartoons of all time, and deserves to be remembered, celebrated, and discovered anew by viewers young and old for generations to come. Whether you first experienced Johnny Quest during its original broadcast, or, like me, discovered it through reruns, I welcome all of you to share your memories and impressions of this fantastic show. And if you haven't seen it, by all means, please seek it out. You'll be glad you did. Before signing off, I would like to extend tremendous thanks to Lyle Blosser and Craig Fuqua of ClassicJQ.com for providing the bulk of the information found in this video. Their site, linked in the description, is a treasure trove for those seeking to learn more about all things Johnny Quest. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a like and subscribe for more Monsters from the Id. As always, thank you for joining me. I'll see you next time.